Ever wonder how a hero of the people, celebrated in the streets, can become the target of a deadly plot? Well, today we're diving headfirst into the tense, supercharged first act of Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. And we're going to see exactly how a citywide party for a returning hero sparks a secret and world-changing conspiracy.
All right, here's our game plan for breaking down Act 1. First, we'll look at the simmering tensions in Rome. Then we'll witness a chilling prophecy. After that, we'll get into the manipulation of the noble Brutus, check out some brilliant political theater, and finally, we'll see the conspiracy take root on one very dark and stormy night.
So picture this. Act 1 kicks off and the streets of Rome are absolutely electric. It's one giant party, everyone's off work, celebrating Julius Caesar's latest victory. But, and this is a big but, not everyone is popping the champagne.
Right away, we see this deep split in the city. On one side, you've got the ordinary folks just having a great time, cheering for Caesar, but on the other, you have these elected officials, the tribunes, and they are fuming. They're basically screaming at the crowd, "Hey, weren't you guys cheering for Pompey just yesterday? The same guy Caesar just crushed?" It shows us that Rome is dangerously divided.
And you got to understand why this matters so much. Rome at this time is a republic. The whole point of their government, their entire system, was built to stop one single person from getting all the power. The idea of a king wasn't just a political change. It was a threat to their very identity, to everything they believed in.
Okay, so let's jump into the next scene. The party is still going strong with a big festival, and Caesar himself makes his grand entrance, totally surrounded by his inner circle.
And here's the crew. You've got Caesar, of course, the man of the hour. There's his ride-or-die general, Mark Antony, his wife, Calpurnia. And then there's Brutus. He's Caesar's good friend, a really respected, honorable guy. Definitely keep an eye on him.
So right in the middle of all this cheering and celebration, things get weird. A soothsayer, kind of like a fortune teller, pushes his way through the crowd and just screams this super famous ominous warning right at Caesar. He says to beware March 15th. So how does the most powerful man in Rome react to this public warning? He completely blows him off, calls him a dreamer, and just moves on. I mean, this moment is huge. It tells you everything you need to know about Caesar's mindset. Is it supreme confidence, or is it just plain arrogance? Either way, he's just been handed a major heads up, and he basically throws it right in the trash.
All right, the parade moves on, but two guys hang back, Brutus and another Roman named Cassius. And this conversation right here, this is where everything starts to change. This is the moment the first real seeds of conspiracy get planted.
You can see right away that Brutus is just torn in two. He even admits it. On the one hand, he really does love Caesar as a friend. But on the other, he is terrified that Caesar is getting way too ambitious, that he's going to become a king and destroy the Republic. And for Brutus, the Republic is everything. It's his core conflict.
And Cassius, who's got his own jealous reasons for hating Caesar, sees this conflict in Brutus and he just pounces. He doesn't just ask for help, he's got a whole playbook. First, he butters Brutus up, telling him how honorable and respected he is. Then he plays the family card, reminding him that one of his own ancestors was famous for kicking the last tyrant out of Rome. And for the final blow, he hits him right where it hurts, the fear that Caesar will make them all slaves. It's an absolute masterclass in manipulation.
So, while this intense private conversation is happening, something huge is going down in public with the rest of the crowd. Let's catch up on what Brutus and Cassius missed.
And one quick thing, don't think Caesar is clueless here. He's not. As he passes by, he actually tells Antony that he gets a really bad vibe from Cassius, that Cassius has a lean and hungry look. So Caesar knows something's up. He can feel the danger even if he doesn't do anything about it.
And then, bam, the main event. Another guy, Casca, comes running up and tells them what happened. So get this, Mark Antony offered Caesar a crown in public. Caesar refuses it, and the crowd goes wild. So Antony offers it again. Caesar refuses again. The crowd loves it even more. Antony tries a third time, and Caesar pushes it away a third time.
But was he really being humble? Well, according to Casca, the guy who saw the whole thing, not a chance. He's totally convinced it was all an act, a brilliant performance for the crowd. He says you could tell Caesar was just dying to take that crown, and it was getting harder for him to refuse each time.
So hearing about this whole crown refusal show just fuels Cassius's fire. He knows now more than ever that he's got to get Brutus on his side. So what does he do? He comes up with this incredibly sneaky plan. He's going to forge a bunch of letters, use different handwriting to make it look like they're from all sorts of concerned citizens, and then toss them through Brutus's window. He's literally creating fake news to trick his friend.
The act closes out later that night, and the whole vibe has shifted. It's dark, there's this insane, violent thunderstorm just ripping through Rome. It's almost like the weather itself knows that something terrible is about to happen.
And people are freaking out. They don't just see a storm. They see omens, signs from the gods that something is deeply wrong. They're reporting all kinds of bizarre sightings around the city. It feels like the world has been turned upside down. And who do they blame for it? All fingers point to Caesar.
And just when you think things can't get any more intense, the bombshell drops. Word gets out in the street that the Senate is planning to officially make Caesar king. Not next week, not next month, tomorrow. Suddenly, there's a ticking clock. It is now or never.
That's it. That's the final push they needed. The time for talking is officially over. Cassius and Casca, right then and there, they make a pact. They shake on it. Whatever the cost, they are going to stop Caesar. The conspiracy is no longer just an idea. It's real. It's happening.
But they have a big problem. Just the two of them, this whole thing is going to look like a petty, jealous attack. They need legitimacy. They need someone that everyone in Rome trusts and respects. They need Brutus. He's their golden ticket. With Brutus on their side, this isn't murder. It's a noble act to save the Republic.
And so that's where we leave Act 1, hanging on this massive cliffhanger question. Everything now comes down to Brutus. Will it work? Is a handful of fake letters really going to be enough to convince a good man to kill his best friend? The fate of Rome, literally, hangs on his decision.